Hi, this is Elliot Eisenberg, your consulting economist, here to catch you up to date on the latest in economics. And the first thing I want to talk about is inflation and interest rates. Inflation, no matter how you measure it, is way up, 7, 8, 9%. That said, I think inflation has peaked or will peak in July. So we're at the worst of the process right now. And on the good news front, supply chains are getting substantially better. They're still problematic, but they're way better than they were. The big problem, however, is that the economy remains strong and inflation's far from the 2% target the Fed wants. As a result, we have labor markets that are doing really well. 500,000 job growth last month in July, really strong. The stock market's made up half the losses of the first half of the year in July. So the Fed says, look, the economy's strong, the stock market's doing well, the labor market's good, and inflation's far from target. We have to raise rates. So they're going to raise rates at least half a point in their September meeting. And in the last two meetings of the year, they're going to raise rates at least a quarter point in each one of those as well. So we have more hikes to go, but that's not going to affect long-term rates because they've already had this baked into the cake. The second thing I want to talk about is fiscal policy. It's now very contractionary. And this is normal. After the housing bust, there was massive contractionary fiscal policy. After the dot-com bust, there was contractionary fiscal policy too. What makes it different this time is the amount. The stimulus this time was much stronger than in the last two recessions. And now the contraction is much stronger than it was in the last two recessions. So if you think about it, in the fiscal stimulus that came through, we had a 3 or 4% increase in GDP because of fiscal stimulus. And now we have a 3% decline. That's a change of 7 percentage points. Now that alone wouldn't drive us into recession. In the prior recoveries when we had contractionary fiscal policy, it didn't lead to recessions either because the economy's got a lot of oomph to go getting out of a recession, pent-up demand and so on. But what makes this one special is that now we also have contractionary monetary policy, which we just spoke about earlier. The combination of these two together in a naturally weakening economy as you come back out of a recession is likely to cause a recession going forward sometime in early 23. The last thing I want to talk about is home building and how it's contracting relatively quickly. Home builders saying to themselves, look, we had to deal for a long time with a lack of land and a lack of labor supply shortages and supply chain problems. But now we have to add to it rising interest rates, reduced affordability, and so on. And making this even more unusual this time is that the builders have an extra 300,000 units of unfinished homes that are ready to go. So normally before COVID began, there were 500,000 homes that were in the process of being built, single fam. Now it's 800,000 and the economy is weakening and there's fear of recession. So builders are pretty much only concerned about getting rid of these homes with all this capital tied up in them before they build new ones. As a result, single fam construction activity is declining quite rapidly. That's it for now. I look forward to seeing you next month.